NPlay is a music player and streamer for Raspberry Pi and Linux platforms. While designing NPlay, I focused on two key considerations. First, you shouldn't need a dedicated music operating system to run it. Secondly, the installation and setup should be as simple as possible. NPlay supports playing local MP3, WAV, and FLAC files. It also supports streaming web radios. If you have a Qobuz subscription, you can use a UPnP client such as mConnect to route the stream to NPlay for equalizer effects and visualizations. It has an inbuilt parametric equalizer and a spectrum analyzer visualization. It has other features such as playlists and favorites, temporary cues, night mode, sleep timer, and an Ask AI feature. In this tutorial, we will look at how to install and run NPlay. The link is provided in the description of this video. If you are using Raspberry Pi or Linux desktop environment, open the GitHub link in a browser and download the package. If you are using the terminal, use the direct download link and download the package using wget command. After the package is downloaded, unzip it to your home directory using command unzip. Navigate into the version 1 directory. You can see two subdirectories there, Linux ARM64 and Linux x64. If you are using Raspberry Pi or another ARM-based computer, go into the Linux ARM64 directory. On the other hand, if you are on an Intel or AMD-based computer, go into the Linux 64 directory. In this directory, there is a script file named install.sh. Make that script executable by using command sudo chmod. Then run the script using the command sudo install sh. This will install and configure NPlay along with its dependencies. At the end of the installation, make sure you read the instructions displayed in the terminal. To run the application, use command run sh. This will start NPlay server and expose the application on port 8000. If you are in a desktop environment, it will also start a desktop window which shows visualization effects. To access the application's main user interface, you can use any browser from the same computer or another device such as your phone connected to the same network. In this example, NPlay runs at the address http nplay.local8000 because on my Raspberry Pi, the host name is nplay.local. So I can access the application from a smartphone connected to the same Wi-Fi by typing the address in the browser. Congratulations, you have successfully run the application, but you need to add your music collection next. Adding music collection. Open the hamburger menu from the upper right corner and click on Edit Settings. Add the paths to your music collection. For example, if you have your music collection on a USB drive, you can add that path. On most Linux desktop computers, USB drives are automatically mounted. In this example, my USB drive is automatically mounted at the path /media pi music. And I have a music directory on that drive, which is what I am configuring here. You can add multiple libraries. Next, you can select the audio playback device. By default, NPlay uses the device name called default. On many modern desktop computers, this is either Pulse Audio or Pipewire. However, you can change that. If you have multiple sound cards or DACs plugged in, you can select the correct one from the selected device drop-down in the settings. Sometimes the device names can be confusing because they start with HW, plug HW, etc. And there may be many of them. If you find a device name confusing, look at the description of it after you have selected it from the drop-down. On the settings screen, you can also change the desktop UI settings. Other settings are optional. After you have made all the changes, click Save. Now that you have added the library, go to the main menu again and click on the Scan Library option. It will start scanning your library and create a catalog of all your music tracks. Note that it may take some time to complete the scanning process depending upon the number of files in your library. Please wait until the thinking bar at the top of the page goes away and you see the message "Scanning complete." After the scanning is complete, refresh the main page and you should see all your tracks in the list. Click play on any track. If the sound is not heard from your speaker, or if you hear distorted sound, go back to the settings, double check that you have set the correct playback device in the settings. If everything goes as expected, you should be able to hear the song playing through the speaker. If you are using a desktop system, you should also see the spectrum visualization effects. If you are not using a desktop computer but wants to see the visualization, you can access the visualization page at URL/display. To adjust the volume and equalizer settings, click on the speaker icon on the main toolbar. Now let's see how to add a web radio. By default, one radio is already added. To add new radios, select the radios from the drop-down on the main toolbar. You can find new radio URLs at www.radiobrowserinfo. Apart from these core features, there are other features such as sleep timer, night mode, favoriting your track, adding tracks to a temporary queue and playing them, etc. You can navigate around the UI and try them. If you are a developer and wants to try the APIs, the API specification is available at the URL path/swagger. Apart from these core features, there are other features such as sleep timer, night mode, favoriting your track, adding tracks to a temporary queue and playing them, etc. You can navigate around the UI and try them. If you are a developer and If you are a developer and wants to try the API specification is available at the URL path /swagger.